What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So every 1 to 2 years, you want to make sure to bleed the clutch in your C5 Corvette to remove any contaminants and make sure that you have fresh fluid in the system. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to bleed the clutch using the remote bleeder, so stay tuned. When I first bought my C5, I got super lucky. The previous owner installed a remote bleeder with their new clutch kit and new slave cylinder, so this makes this job so much easier. If you don't have the remote bleeder on your car, this job gets a little bit more complex. So first you're going to have to jack up the car, and then you're going to have to take out the front of the exhaust. If you have long tubes like me, the long tube headers are definitely going to have to come out. Then you have to pull out the torque tube tunnel plate, and then you have to reach on top of the bell housing to reach the slave cylinder valve. There are some people that say if you remove the intake from the top of the motor, you can reach down the back and reach that valve, but most people just do the first option. But honestly, either way, to do this process correctly, it's kind of a pain in the butt if you don't have the remote bleeder. And because this is such a time-consuming process, a lot of people do what's called the Ranger method, where basically you just take off the cap here, and then you siphon out all of the fluid that's in your reservoir, and then you just fill it with new fluid. And then once you do that, you pump the clutch a ton of times until all of the fluid cycles through, and then you just keep sucking fluid out and replacing it with new fluid until your fluid is basically clear again. And this is a pretty time-consuming process, and at the end of the day, it still doesn't bleed the clutch properly. So trust me when I tell you, if you have your transmission out for any reason at all, make sure to replace the slave cylinder and add a quick bleeder. Because this process is the best way to do it, and it's the quickest way to do it. And guys, don't judge me for how dirty my car is right now. I never let it get like this, but I've had to leave it out in the rain because the Mustang is getting all the love right now. It's torn apart. Obviously, I have the transmission out right now because I'm doing a clutch and flywheel on it. So that should be done this week, and then I can pull the Corvette back in on this side where it's supposed to be. But right now, it's in my wife's car's spot, so that way I can film this video. But then it's going right back outside for a bit, so I'm gonna have to do a good deep clean on it once we're done here. But if you guys like S197 content, make sure to subscribe. But that's enough chit chat, let's get into the process. First things first, you want to get yourself a cup, and then you want to get your fluid, so you can use either .4 or .3 brake fluid. It really doesn't matter. .4 has a little bit higher of a boiling point, so I just like to use .4, but they are compatible with each other, so you can mix if you have to. So first thing you want to do is you want to take off your lid here and just check the fluid where it's at. And then now we have a rag put down, so that way we don't make a mess anywhere, because this stuff is pretty corrosive, so if you do spill it on your paint or anything like that, you want to make sure to clean it up quick. So next, what we're going to do is we are going to basically just siphon out as much of this as we can from the reservoir, and then we're going to clean it out with a rag. So I like to use this little handheld pump here, and it's going to catch all the fluid in this little guy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it here, and it's just going to pull all of that fluid out of the reservoir when I pump it, just like that. And we're just going to try and get as much out as we possibly can. This fluid is extremely dirty. It has not been changed in a long time. So, yeah, we're gonna have to clean this thing out for sure. All right, that's about as much as I can get with the handheld pump. As you guys can see, this fluid is black. That looks terrible. It's a very good thing that we're bleeding the system. So now we're going to take a paper towel here, and we're just going to clean out the reservoir the best we can, just so we get any of this nasty residue that's caught on the inside of there, because there is going to be some junk built up, and we don't want that running through the system. So there you go. As you can see, it looks pretty clean in there. So now we can fill it up. So now we want to take our .4 fluid, and we want to fill up the reservoir. I'm going to try and pour this. This is a pretty full bottle. See if I can make it. Okay, so now you want to take your quick bleeder here, and then you want to take your cup and stick it in a place like right there. That makes sense. So now you're just going to put the quick bleeder right into the cup like that. You're going to take your 2 wrenches. So this quick bleeder actually has a valve inside of it that makes this a one-person job. So normally, like if you're bleeding your brakes or if you're bleeding the clutch on the OEM setup, you would have to basically open up the valve every time. You'd say down, the person in the car would press the clutch pedal, you'd open it, and then you'd close it, and then they'd release. So that way you don't suck air back into the system. But with this valve that's in here, this is a quick bleeder, so basically it doesn't allow air to go back into the system. So if you open this, it's only going to allow fluid to go out when the clutch is pushed, but it won't allow air to get back inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this valve, stick it in the cup, and then I'm just going to push the clutch a few times, and then we're going to reevaluate where our fluid's at because we don't want to run out of fluid in the reservoir. So we'll just keep topping it off, and then we'll just keep doing that until the fluid starts running clear out of this line. So this is a 7/16 wrench, and this is a 9/16 wrench. Update. So, as you guys could see from that, that was not good. Come to find out, the remote bleeder that's in my car does not have the quick bleeder valve. It is not the one-person job that I thought it was. So, it actually doesn't have the valve inside of it on this model for some reason because the previous owner wanted to save probably 20 bucks and ruin my life. So basically what I just did is I showed you guys how to put a ton of air into the system on your C5 Corvette. So now my clutch doesn't work. So now what I have to do is I have to basically have my wife sit in the car and push the clutch pedal and lift it with her hand or whatever while I do exactly what I said I wasn't going to have to do and crack the bleed screw every single time that we do that. It's going to take a lot longer this way, and we're going to go through quite a bit of fluid trying to get all the air out. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through all that, but we're going to have to go through quite a few iterations. So if you have one of the lines that looks like this, then you probably will have to do this with 2 people, but if you have one of the nice ones, like the actual Tick Performance one, then you probably have the valve that's inside of it that, you can just do it yourself. I didn't realize this was not one of those, so, oh well, lesson learned. Down. Up. Down. Up. Okay, so update. Basically, like I said before, this is the cheapo version of the remote bleeder. If you go with one of the nicer brands, you're going to have the check valve inside of here that will keep air from getting back inside of the system. Mine does not have that, and I was actually getting fluid leaking out of the threads here and through this bottom part of the fitting as well. So I put some Teflon tape in there to try and keep that from happening, but I was still getting fluid leaking out here. I think that this was the issue that I was running into where air was still getting into the system. Unfortunately, just because of the nature of this fitting, there wasn't really much I could do about that. So what I did is I just bled this system until it started running clear, so that way I can replace all of the fluid in it, right? So now, as you guys can see, I have all new fluid in this guy. It looks completely clear, so that will prolong the life of this system. Now, as far as the clutch pedal feel, when I closed that valve, the clutch pedal very clearly, you could feel there was air in the system. So what I did is I actually gravity bled the system afterwards. So I sealed everything back up, and then I just left the top off here and just pumped the clutch a bunch of times. And so what that does is it basically works the air bubbles out of the system, and they will come out through the reservoir here. And luckily for me, the air came back up through the reservoir, and I saw, you know, the air bubbles coming out. And now the clutch feels just as good as it did before. You know, I kind of lucked out there because you don't always have that happen. I think that probably a small enough amount of air was getting, you know, into the system from that bleeder that was possible. So, you know, that's a good thing. But I think long-term plan, what I'm going to do for next time is I'm probably going to get a check valve that can go basically onto this. So that way, when I do crack the bleeder open, it has the check valve in there, and then I don't have to loosen this part. So I think that'll be the best way to do it. So that way, again, this can be a one-person job. I can just sit in the car and just pump the clutch until, you know, I have to fill back up the fluid. I think that's going to work a little bit better than this time. So again, you know, the clutch works great again. I was a little bit worried at first, but it feels good now. I think that all the air is back out of the system, and it has nice fresh fluid in it now. So this should help the life of my clutch system quite a bit. So lesson learned, if you're gonna get the remote bleeder, make sure it has a check valve. So once you're done, you wanna fill up your reservoir about halfway. You don't wanna fill it up all the way because there's that rubber piece that's on the inside of the cap that has to go into your fluid. Once you put the cap back on, that's obviously gonna raise the level a bit. So halfway for the fluid in the reservoir, put your cap back on and tighten it, and you should be good to go. But there you have it, guys. That's how to bleed the clutch in your C5 Corvette using the remote bleeder. But let me know in the comments what other videos you guys wanna see on Mile High Misfits. And as always, if you enjoyed the content for today, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'll catch you guys next week. Later.